background checks for evictions, and we're gonna go in this video. We're gonna go over ways to find evictions and just a general resources available at the state level for doing background checks. I'm going to select the state of Georgia for this example. Most states will have very similar structures. The court records are usually set up a little bit differently from state to state, but the idea is the same, and I'll go over each of these options in the second here. So when it comes to general background checks, you have your essentials: court records, recorder's office, criminal records, driving records, business or license lookup if something needs to be verified, sexual offender registry, and then at the county level you could look at jail records, mugshots, recent arrests, things like that. And if a state doesn't offer a statewide court record check, and even if they do, sometimes they will charge you like money for it. If at the county level, you're typically able to do it for free, and if they, like I said, if they don't have a statewide database, you actually will have to do it at the county level. So we have resources for like the most populous counties in each state, and let's take a look at some of these more essential things. So Georgia, for instance, offers a criminal record check, which is very simple. You need a name, date of birth, and a credit card, and it looks like they charge $15 to get it done. And most states will have something very similar to it. Some of them will make it more complicated than others, but they'll provide instructions on how to go about it. You also have your court records, and evictions go through the court system, so you could look up civil and criminal records using the court system. And I'm going to look at the court specific page here that we have, and let's use Georgia again. And so what you have is you have multiple court systems within a state. They're going to be slightly different, go under names, but you have your like city courts, county level courts, and then obviously you have the Court of Appeals. So if it doesn't get settled in the lower level courts, it get pushed up to the upper level courts for a decision. And each court will deal with different matters. So like civil court will do civil cases. You have your county recorder's court, which does traffic and lower level crimes, and then you have state court, for example, will do evictions. So you can actually look up which court deals with what situation, and then you want to make sure, if there isn't like a all-in-one database that you can use, you want to make sure you're looking at multiple courts if they do kind of separate them. And particularly if you're looking for evictions, make sure you're going to the court that actually deals with those, with the record type that you're looking for. So let's see here. What sheriffsdepartment.net did for you is they broke down each state by their courts, what each of these courts does, and then provided you with a database where these records can be searched. So you're able to quickly find exactly the database that you need to check out. So that is how you find evictions. You could use court records, or you could go directly through the state, or you can go hire a company to do that for you if you don't have time. Another couple of things to consider when doing background checks, and you'll find these resources for every state, could be a sexual offender registry, and then in certain situations maybe you can even look up incarceration records, which would be like prison records. If somebody gets sentenced for over a year in prison, you might want to check that out. So you have multiple record types you're able to look at. Specifically background checks for evictions, Those do go through the court system, and anytime somebody goes in front of a judge, it creates a record. Court records are considered public records, so you're able to look at those a lot of times through an online database that the state or county offers. If they don't have that option, sometimes you do have to go in person, and they have these special terminals that you're able to research information on a lot of times for free. So visit sheriffsdepartment.net, check out the resources here available to you. You can also just type in sheriffsdepartment.net in your browser. I'll drop a link in the description so you can click on that or just type it in. And come on down and see if we have any useful resources for your use.